dear friends. The world of Warships may rejoice in knowing that we are headed to the paradise of competitive tournaments for the best of the best of the best of the best. I am Aboxy, leader of the free peoples from the tiers of the desert map, to introduce you to Warship Masters Invitational Tournament 2024 and to show you the ways. Warship Masters is an invitational-only tournament based on the top teams from the Asia, EU, NA, and China servers in Season 24 of Clan Battles. It takes place over 4 days and ends when 15 teams are eliminated and only one remains to earn the title. Lisan Al-Gaishu. This is the title, of course, after the creator of Warship Masters, Gaishu Ichoku. Now he is the man who looks like Abraham Lincoln, and I have faith in him as the one who will lead us to entertainment paradise. Warship Masters differs from the other tournaments in that individual ships are assigned point values. The format is 7 players versus 7 players, but the ships that are considered very strong have higher point values, while ships that are considered less strong, they have lower point values. So, teams will have to decide which ships to bring based on how many points they cost. Wait, how come the teams don't just bring 7 of the high point ships? Because they're limited to 100 points total. Lisan Al-Gaishu. So that means a team has to choose their lineup with a limited budget of cheap points. Maybe you want a Louisiana. Well, then that costs 28 points out of 100. Maybe then you have to take some Jinan, which costs you only 7 points each. Yeah, I like Jinan. Jinan, very good. Gaishu is wise, I see. Jinan is good in randoms, but hard to make work in competitive. While Louisiana has the all-seeing eyes of the airplane. These point values, yes, they will include all Tier 10 and super cheaps. Next to discuss is the flagship feature. Now, flagship is unique to the greatness that is Warship Masters, and let the teams put extra power into their match when they need it. Flagships are 8 specific chips that the team has decided are good. Like really good. Like as good at tournaments as Lisan Al-Gaishu is at being a prophet. These are the chips that are especially good for tournament play and can be the centerpiece around which an entire chip lineup is built. However, each chip can only be used 2 times each per team in the whole tournament. Oh, hold on. I thought that the flagship could only be used until it got sunk. Oh, they changed it. Now it doesn't matter if you lose it, you can only bring it twice, no matter what. Lisan Al-Gaishu has made his brilliance clear. Now teams don't bring the same chip over and over until they lose it. Also, being a super chip no longer means it is automatically a flagship. The flagships are Patry, Vermont, Petropavlovsk, Annapolis, Novosibirsk, Konde, Napoli, and Zorki. You see, Lisan Al-Gaishu is wise, but he is too humble to admit how wise he is. Do it in the chat now. Tell him how wise he is by typing Lisan Al-Gaishu. Lisan Al-Gaishu. Make him see it. We are almost done now, friends, I promise. Now, the teams will each ban a map for their matches. And the maps available are Shatter, Islands of Ice, Hotspot, Riposte, Tears of the Desert. Lisan Al-Gaishu! This is my home! My home map! This is amazing. Sleeping Giant and Warrior's Path. Gaishu himself will tell you about the prizes. Okay, friends. Enjoy the tournament. Fair winds and following seas. Got to go find Lisa and Algaishu now.
Captains, welcome to Warship Masters 2024. I'm Gaishu Ishoku, one of your hosts for today, and a community manager and two-time second-place COTS champion. And joining me here at the desk is Bazinga Flux. How are you
Hello,
guys?
everyone. So, yes, I am indeed Bazinga Flux, also known as Baz. I am a long-time competitive veteran at this point. I've won King of the Sea twice, and unlike Gaishu, also won WMI twice, which was his tournament.
Yes, I did not get to play in it, unfortunately.
So, yes, today we'll be hosting the WMI Championship tournament for you, and our casters today are going to be the Sailing Robin and Zuikatsu.
Hello, everyone. Really happy to be here. Well, my name is Robin. I have won no tournaments or Warship Masters, but I'm a veteran player of the game for a while now, and I am really happy to be invited again to cast. And I'm not alone today. With me is...
Hey guys, I'm Zui. Come from the NA server like Gaishu. I'm part of the same clan. We are the designers of the original Warship Masters tournament. Glad to be here, casting this tournament live for you from Belgrade. What do you think?
Well, Bogsy was kind enough to tell us a little bit about the details of the tournament, but why don't we break it down a little bit?
Sure. I think the tournament obviously has a lot of rewards, and one of the main things about the tournament is also that you can, as the viewer, the Twitch viewers especially, are going to get Twitch drops, and you get them for watching the stream for 90 minutes, and you get a set of signals. Maybe we want to go over the signals and what they are.
Yeah. So we have a couple of fire chance signals for you. We have a speed flag, we have a heal flag that will increase your heal by 20%, and a fire duration reduction flag. Some of the most useful combat signals. We hope you will enjoy using them in game. They can be a little bit expensive to purchase. So we also have plenty of other rewards lined up. For tomorrow, weekend 1, day 2, we will be distributing some economic boosters for watching for 90 minutes, as well as a free XP mystery drop. The luckiest among you will be able to earn up to 62,500 free XP, while the unluckier will still get something. At worst, you'll get 5,000 free XP or 12,500. So something for everybody still.
Absolutely.
But we also have some pretty cool stuff for next weekend as well.
Yeah, the next weekend is where the Twitch drops gets really exciting, and there's going to be a special flag which is coming back, as well as a brand new captain that you can use with the new skin that's going to be coming, but we won't go into it just yet.
What is the name of this flag, Baz?
This is the paid actor flag.
I love it.
Which is honestly
It's
amazing.
fantastic.
But the captain itself is called Sir John Vincent, I believe.
Yes, you can put Sir John Vincent onto your St. Vincent. You'll also be able to get some coal as the mystery drop for this week, or for next weekend rather. And then for day 2, we have some very special rewards. We have some blue economic boosters, the Warship Masters 2024 flag, as well as the Viscount of Victory St. Vincent skin to go along with your Sir John Vincent commander, as well as a repeat of that coal drop. Now, the skin is quite incredible.
It is. So let's take a look at it really quick. You can see how the cannons themselves are actually firing in the port, which is honestly amazing. I think this is one of the coolest skins that we have ever made.
It's a phenomenal level of detail. It's one of the most beautiful skins I've ever seen. Not biased at all, by the way.
Definitely a very cool skin.
All right, why don't we go over what the actual participants of the tournament will be playing
Absolutely. So obviously it's a tournament. Everyone is participating to win. And so there is going to be prizes.
Prizes for the participants? It's crazy.
Yes, so there's cash prizes for the winners. The first place walks home with $6,000 US.
Yes. Second place will get $1,800 across their team. Third place will get $1,400. Fourth place will get $800. So pretty sizable prize pool for this year. It's increased over last year. Excited to see what teams will bring to the table for their compositions in order to fight for this prize pool.
Absolutely. And there's also a t-shirt for Warship Masters that is going to be available for the viewers at home to get.
And unfortunately, I actually have one of these shirts with me, but I forgot to actually bring it to the production room, so I can't physically show you. I know.
You have failed us.
I've failed you. But it does look quite nice. If you want to acquire one of your own, you can go to the link or scan the QR code and get one of those for yourself.
Indeed.
They are quite high quality. I really like them.
Yep.
So let's hop on to the schedule for today and the matches that we are going to be spectating.
All right. So our casters may recognize Series 1, a couple of these teams here. Them has rebranded, but why don't you two tell us a little bit about these teams? Because I think we've seen them before.
Well, the first game we'll cover will be Rain versus them. That will be the first match of the series, following essentially the winner and of bracket 1 for the Chinese server. And then, so we don't really have the names of these teams yet.
Yeah,
Maybe,
so it will be determined as the tournament progresses, of course.
Exactly. But Rain, of course, I mean, Rain has won the previous King of the Sea, so they are still on that famous streak. Them, on the other hand,
Them is a rename from another European clan, WND. If you recognize WND, if you've watched previous King of the Seas and WMIs, no stranger to the top of the competitive bracket either.
Definitely one of the stronger participants from the EU server, and I mean, Rain really needs no introduction. I think last King of the Sea was one of the best that we have ever casted.
Oh, yeah.
Just remembering that game on Shatter where Rain just clawed it back by the skin of their teeth to go on to actually win the internationals was absolutely phenomenal.
Virtually every games were really, really entertaining.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get the same, because the rules of this tournament, if you dive into the details, most of the lineup that these teams are used to bring in competitive match are sort of thrown out the window with this point system, where they really have to think it through, what ship to bring, and how you're going to use these flagship system as well. So looking forward to see what we're going to have in these games today.
All right, well, if we have the infographic, we can take a quick look maybe at the point values just to give the viewers a little bit of an idea of what exactly the point system actually means. So here you can see there are quite a lot of tier 10 ships and super ships in the tournament. You will notice that some of these are marked with orange. That means that they are flagships. Flagships can only be brought twice throughout the entire tournament by a single team. So you have to decide when to use them and use them well. For the rest of the ships, some of you may recognize some standout ships like Kremlin, Patry, St. Vincent, Schlieffen, all on the upper end of the points list over there. The Moskvas, the Annapolis, the Condé, all very competitively strong ships. And on the lower end, you'll see things like the Regolos, the Austins, the Genons, the Slavas, that ordinarily you will never see in a tournament.
Yeah. But also what is important to note is that each team starts with a total budget of 100 points.
Per game.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, you don't have 100 points to spend throughout the whole tournament. It is indeed.
Just bring one ship and be done with it.
You have 100 points to pick your ships from.
Yes.
And you therefore have to pick and choose accordingly. And you also have to take into account the flagship system. So as long as you are in the budget of 100 points in the team lineup, you are good. And
what I like about this is that there's no rules of bringing, because it is 7 versus 7.
Yes,
right?
it is a 7 versus 7. Yes,
but this time teams have a choice of not bringing 7 ships. If they want to bring 4 or 5 expensive ships, they can, definitely.
That is totally an option.
So that's why I think this tournament really differs, especially, I mean, kudos to you guys for creating such an interesting system. So yeah, like we might see some asymmetric lineups.
I would be very excited to see that. I mean, you do save a pretty considerable amount of points by dropping a player or two. So it is a pretty daring maneuver. I haven't seen any teams try it yet, but I feel like there are some strong lineups that you could create by doing that.
Possibly, definitely.
I think our first teams are getting ready. So if we have the map pick and bans, we can take a look at those and show you guys our first series coming up. All right.
Ooh.
So
looks like we are going to be playing on Warrior's Path for our first match, Riposte for our second, and if we go to a game 3, it will be on Shatter. Now, well, let's talk about those latter two later, because I think those two are a little bit more interesting in terms of competitive play. But Warrior's Path, pretty common map to be played in competitive.
We've seen it in the previous cards, definitely. We've seen some pretty intense daring versus daring with Moskvas or Demons backing them up in the middle. Yeah. Some interesting plays here, even though this time the cap layout is much different from King of the Seas. You have like the home cap and then the middle one on the left. So Warrior's Path, true and tested map. Let's see how it happens. But Riposte, on the other hand, is very unique because like everything is so clustered. The island cover, the cap, you have a lot of open water on the side. But the action is going to happen basically around the same area.
Yeah, and Riposte is one of those interesting maps, I think, in particular, because if you wanted to spend a lot of points on, say, a Moskva, you could get some really good use out of it by positioning it in the middle, because that 12-kilometer radar can cover almost all 3 caps.
Yeah, definitely.
Shatter, we've seen some pretty interesting plays on before.
Yeah,
It's
we
a very
have.
unique map.
I think Shatter may be a map where we see a team invest a lot of points into getting a Schlieffen in the lineup.
Sure.
Because we have seen a Schlieffen walk through the middle of the map to great success. I mean, I remember a TWA versus Rain game where the Rain Schlieffen was just sitting in the middle of the map using his secondaries the entire game.
Yeah, and they couldn't deal with
They
him.
couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing to note, again, looking at the 3 maps we have for this following series, we are playing on the clan battles cap layouts.
Yeah, any clan
unlike
battlers
the
and the
King of the
viewers
Sea.
may notice that all these maps were in the previous clan battle season. So the teams will have a lot of experience with the cap layouts and with the maps themselves. But of course, the point system does create a different meta, so they'll have to adapt their previous lineups a little bit.
Exactly. So I think we should dive in maybe into the bans of the teams. And so they banned Sleeping Giant as well as Islands of Ice.
Yep, and note that Sleeping Giant here, I believe, would be Rain's ban, whereas Islands of Ice would be the ban from them boys. Sleeping Giant, definitely one of the interesting maps. The Thunderdome cap has been shifted out of the actual Thunderdome, so it's half in, half out. This map kind of tends to favor really fast ships, since the teams do spawn on the very east side of the map. So maybe Rain kind of trying to take away the destroyer-heavy playstyle here of them boys.
Possibly. I think is definitely a interesting choice. It may be something that they know, like they have maybe previously played them in trainings, or maybe they have an idea of how the enemy team is going to be playing, and as a result they have banned it. Or it may just be a map they always ban, is a perma-ban map that they just never play.
Yeah. And then Islands of Ice, I think we tend to not really see this too often.
Yeah.
In tournaments especially. I think teams probably may be a little bit unfamiliar with Islands of Ice and just preferring not to play it.
Yeah, it has generally not been a mainstay in the competitive lineup, especially in clan battles the past couple of seasons. Only recently kind of made a return to this map. In terms of the map layout, it does look kind of similar to maps like Warrior's Path and Sleeping Giant. If you just look at how the there's kind of an island chain splitting the map in half.
Yeah, the triangle of caps.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I like the most about these 2 maps, and supposedly they are banned, unfortunately, but we will see them definitely during the tournament, is that most of our viewers can relate to this layout because it literally is the ranked layout, at least from my experience. Maybe not at tier 10, but I remember playing ranked on this, so people might actually have